Welcome back to Daily Horror Stories. Subscribe and hit the bell for daily horror stories. The year was 1852. Dante had been driving since sunrise. His eyes burned from exhaustion, and every mile felt heavier than the last. He was only 30 kilometers away from his ancestral village when he noticed something strange. Every village he passed was glowing with firelight. Hundreds of people stood gathered in open fields. The sound of drums echoed through the night, mixed with eerie screams and chants that seemed to come from nowhere. Dante had never seen anything like it. Born and raised in Bangalore, he had spent his entire life in the city. This was his first visit to his family's ancestral village in the Puttur district. His late father had always refused to sell the family's land. But after his father's death, Dante had decided otherwise. A luxury hotel company was willing to pay a fortune for the property. By the time he reached the village, darkness had swallowed the sky. The old caretaker of the house welcomed him inside. To Dante's surprise, his village was decorated just like the others. "What is all this for?" Dante asked. The old man looked uneasy. "Tomorrow is Puttakola." Before he could explain further, Dante's exhaustion took over. He went straight to bed. The next day passed quickly. Representatives from the hotel company arrived, and Dante spent the afternoon showing them the land. Everything was finalized. Only his signature remained. As evening approached, the sound of drums returned. Louder. Closer. Dante walked to the window and saw hundreds of villagers gathered around a large ceremonial ground illuminated by flaming torches. Curiosity pulled him outside. When he arrived, the crowd stood in complete silence. In the center danced a terrifying figure. His face was painted bright yellow. His body was covered in jewelry. Upon his head rested a massive wild boar mask with gleaming tusks. The man moved violently, twisting and shaking as though something supernatural controlled him. Villagers approached one by one, bowing before him and asking questions. Suddenly, the dancing stopped. The drums fell silent. The figure slowly turned. His eyes locked onto Dante. A chill crawled down Dante's spine. The performer pushed through the crowd and stopped directly in front of him. For several long seconds, neither moved. Then, the figure unleashed a deafening scream. The sound was so powerful that Dante felt it deep inside his bones. The mysterious figure then turned and sprinted into the darkness of the forest. The crowd erupted into panic. People surrounded Dante. "You've been warned. Do not sell the land. The spirit is angry." Dante laughed. To him, it was nothing more than superstition. Back at the house, the caretaker rushed inside behind him. His face was pale. "You don't understand," the old man said. "That was Panjurali Deva, the guardian spirit of these lands." The caretaker explained that every year during Puttakola, the spirit possessed a chosen performer to guide and protect the villagers. The spirit screamed at you because it does not want the land sold. Dante shook his head. Fairy tales. He signed the property papers that very night. Then he went to sleep. Around midnight, he woke to a strange sound. Someone was crying. Soft. Painful. The sound seemed to come from outside his room. Heart pounding, Dante stepped into the darkness. The crying continued. He followed it to the front door. When he opened it, there was nobody there. The village was completely silent. Then suddenly, a blazing spark exploded in the darkness. A gust of freezing wind struck him. And standing only a few feet away, was Panjurli Deva. His glowing eyes burned like fire. His terrifying face stared directly into Dante's soul. Then the spirit screamed. Again. Louder than before. Dante stumbled backward in terror. Without thinking, he ran to his car and sped away from the village. Rain began to pour. The forest road twisted endlessly through the darkness. His hands trembled on the steering wheel. Then he saw it. Standing in the middle of the road. A gigantic wild boar. But this was no ordinary animal. Its tusks were made of gold. A golden necklace hung around its neck. Upon its head rested a shining crown. Its eyes glowed blood red in the darkness. The creature stared directly at him. Dante froze. The boar took a single step forward. Then another. And suddenly, the car lost control. Metal screamed. Glass shattered. Everything went black. When Dante opened his eyes, he was lying in a hospital bed. The caretaker sat beside him. Tears rolled down Dante's face. "Bring me the papers," he whispered. The old man handed him the property documents. Without hesitation, Dante tore them into pieces. After leaving the hospital, he returned to the village temple. There, he begged Panjurli Deva for forgiveness. And from that day forward, he swore he would never sell the land. No one knows whether what happened to Dante was truly the wrath of a guardian spirit or simply a terrible coincidence. But Dante never forgot those glowing red eyes, or the crowned golden boar waiting for him in the darkness. Even today, villagers say that on stormy nights, the sound of distant drums can still be heard from the forest. And sometimes, a terrible scream follows. A warning from the ancient guardian who still watches over the land. The drums echo through the darkness, the forest remains silent, and the legend of Panjurli Deva lives on.